and this here may be tough to you. Snack cake to me, yeah, more hostess. This been overdue forever. Asked me when it was dropping, said never. Should've made you cut the feta, but I designed it Freemason Margiela.
What's good, Shellitronnn here, the most woke, no joking. I'm back out again with a brand new video, and I'm gonna keep it a bold bread biscuit. I know this video may be a little bit too early. Look, I understand we're about, what, 2 months away, maybe even a little bit more than 2 months away from the draft. I mean, we're actually about a full 1 month away from free agency, but we've already been seeing a few draft boards. We've been seeing some mock drafts from some people already. So honestly, no matter how early it is in the off season, 'tis the season to talk about the draft, but not really the whole draft. People are really focusing in on the first 3, maybe 4 rounds of the draft. But I want to focus on the first round draft pick that the Panthers should be making here. Keep in mind, things can happen in free agency that affects the way that teams are going to be drafting once the NFL draft comes up in a couple months. But as of right now, as the team is currently constructed, this is what I think the Panthers should be doing with their very first pick of the 2019 NFL draft. Pick up Clelin Ferrell, an edge rusher out of Clemson. Look, there's a lot of reasons to pick this guy up. We'll start off from the most obvious and then work our way down. First off, the guy has size. He's 6'5", about 260. He's probably even a little bit bigger than that. This man is a monster. He's strong. I can't wait to see his combine numbers. I want to see just how fast he is. I want to see his reps on the bench. I actually want to see what his vert is as well, because he's actually pretty alright at defending passes. Only 5 in his 4 years at Clemson, but we might see that number go up a little bit in the NFL just because he'll be going up against a lot better talent than a lot of the ACC teams he was going against for the past 4 years. So he may get held up just a little bit, but he always gets a push, and more often than not, he is going to affect the play in some way or other, whether it's him actually getting a sack, getting the pass defended, or him causing the quarterback to have to run away from him so often that other guys got opportunities, and it cuts off about half the field the quarterback has to work with, because if you're rolling out to one side, throwing across your body is not the move. So we get that. Big body, fast guy, high production, but just how much production? Just last year at Clemson, this guy had 55 combined tackles, 20 tackles for a loss, 11.5 sacks, 2 passes defended, 3 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery for a touchdown, which was actually on a fumble that he forced. So he got the strip sack and the recovery for a touchdown on that one play. And I forgot who they were playing in that game, but that play was actually really impressive because it was an extremely heads-up, continuous play for him, because although he got the strip sack and the ball came out pretty close to the goal line, he didn't have the first shot at recovering the ball. I think there was 2 other Clemson guys who were in the area who had their chance to scoop and score or dive on the football. He got bobbled around. There was actually a full 5 seconds between when he got the strip sack and when he actually recovered the ball in the end zone. Clelin Ferrell makes plays, and if he doesn't make the play initially, he goes hard through the whistle and makes sure that he gets every opportunity to have an impact on every single play. And with the team just losing Julius Peppers, we need some kind of anchor on that defensive line, especially on the edge, so we can get back to our identity of being a team that gets pressure on the quarterback with just the front 4 rushing. And if you need a little bit more perspective on that, let's talk numbers real quick. In 2018, the Panthers were 27th in the league in sacks with 35. Okay, that's very bad, let's keep it real. But in 2017, the team was 3rd in the league with 50. 2016, the team was 2nd in the league with 47. And 2015, this team was 6th in the league with 44. 35 sacks and 27th in the league is such a huge drop-off from the previous 3 years. We have to get our identity back. There was no pressure coming in this past season at all without blitzing. And even when we were blitzing sometimes, it felt like there still wasn't a lot of pressure being generated. This man, Clelin Ferrell, can have day 1 impact on the team as a whole. And the crazy thing about defensive ends is if they're successful at what they do, not only will they get their numbers, but they'll force other guys on the defense to get their numbers, because having a great edge rusher affects the whole opponent's offensive scheme by a lot. You start double teaming that guy, you start putting your running back on that side of the field just to make sure you get a little bit of a push just in case he does get past your double team. And with the news that the team is going to be incorporating some 3-4 schemes on defense in this upcoming season, Clelin Ferrell's impact on the team would be even more impressive, because Clemson did run a lot of 4-3 and 3-4 switching schemes a lot. So I think it'll be a pretty seamless transition to the NFL for him, coming from an attacking 3-4 scheme that had 4-3 in it as well. Obviously some nickel. There's a lot of other things going on there in Clemson. I think they're ranked like 2nd in the nation on defense this past season, but that's not the only thing that makes Clelin Ferrell so uniquely impressive and so perfect for this Panthers defense. He's not just an edge rusher who can only be productive from the outside. There were several plays I saw from Clemson where they had the outside linebacker playing inside with Clelin Ferrell going to the outside. There were times where the outside linebacker was on the outside and Clelin Ferrell would take a guard instead of the tackle and he'd still get pushed and get sacks. There were times he was on the edge and he was running stunts with his inside man. There were times when Clelin Ferrell was playing the linebacker position in the 3-4, standing up and rushing the quarterback. He's so versatile and talented that he keeps your offensive coordinator guessing. You have to have a clear-cut plan for everything this man can do, and it's extremely hard to do that with this guy because he is one of the best in this draft. And like I said earlier, with that kind of production coming from one player, it also opens the door for other guys to succeed. And I'm going to focus in on one of our 2018 4th-round picks right here, Marquise Haynes. We didn't see him get a lot of playing time this past season. He wasn't really ready, I think, for our 4-3 scheme. I think I said it last year in my reaction video to when we drafted him, and they were calling him a kind of an undersized 4-3 edge rusher kind of guy, more of a speed guy. I was wondering maybe he would work out better as, you know, a pass rusher only, like a linebacker in the 3-4 scheme. Marquise Haynes and Clelin Ferrell could have a field day, either switching off, running stunts, or running any number of exotic, confusing, pre-snap movements, position switching play to play. We might be able to see them play off of each other in ways that not only highlight Clelin Ferrell's skills, but also Marquise Haynes. And if we have a dynamic duo like that, with Mario Addison on the other side still doing what he does, let's not forget Mario Addison has been a consistently good piece for us on the edge, on that opposite side. There's the potential for a lot of really good work to be done for this team. There's a play in particular where he was in a 3-point stance on the edge, but they backed him out into coverage. He was in a hook zone, but he saw the quarterback rolling out to the opposite side of the field as him. So he leaves his zone, he goes across the field and gets the sack. And I know that sounds like it would only work situationally, like how often are you going to have this great pass rusher dropping back into coverage, spying a quarterback and leaving his zone. But if you think about it, it's not just about what he did on that play, it's about how his mind works on defense. He's always watching what's happening in the backfield, and he's always aware of what's going on. And that was proven when a lot of the teams he was going against were trying to run options and zone reads against him and trying to trick him and forming a play around what he reacts to. And for the most part, I saw that that just did not work. He keeps his eyes up. He has an acute ability for knowing where the ball is and not getting tricked. No matter how long the QB keeps the ball in that running back's gut for the read option, he is always aware of where the ball is and he makes the right choice more often than not, significantly more often than not. But even if teams do trick him, he has such good makeup speed at the edge rusher position. All you did was end up buying yourself 2 more seconds of freedom before he tackles you still behind the line of scrimmage. The guy is ready. He has Defensive Rookie of the Year potential right now. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves with that. One last thing I do want to mention here is just how well he would fit for our team just for next season alone. Don't even think about for future years where he'll get even better, but just for next year alone, having a speedy, powerful, very aware guy on the edge is very, very important when you're playing against teams who have maybe not running quarterbacks, but very mobile quarterbacks. Looking at our schedule here, our home games, does Seattle have a very mobile quarterback? Yes. The Jags. I mean, Blake Bortles isn't the best thrower of the ball, but he is a solid mobile quarterback. Not the fastest, but he's kind of fast, actually, for having a big body. He will run the ball. Not against Clelin Ferrell. You think about Tennessee. Do they have a mobile quarterback in Tennessee? Now, Jameis Winston isn't really a running quarterback. I think he's only ever gotten like 250 yards max rushing in his full season, but he is mobile enough to move around the pocket and make passes on the run. Going to our away games, Jimmy G isn't really super mobile, but he does like to move around a little bit. Does Houston have a mobile quarterback there? A rushing mobile quarterback there? I think so. Andrew Luck is mobile. He can move around. Does Green Bay have a mobile quarterback who likes to throw on the run? You tell me. Now, Matt Ryan and Drew Brees aren't really the best examples of mobile quarterbacks, but they can move around, and I really do believe Clelin Ferrell could be the perfect fit, especially for this upcoming season. Fast, strong, does not get tricked, and these speedy guys we're going to be going up against this season are going to give us trouble if we don't have a guy who can match up, get in the backfield, and not get tricked consistently on running plays, bootlegs, zone reads, read option. Everyone loves the RPO. This to me seems like a situation where if Clelin Ferrell is available to us when we draft and we didn't already pick up an edge rusher in free agency, there is no reason not to pick him up. I guess if there's maybe a very generational talent O-lineman also available, because you guys know if you've been watching my live streams that I've been saying we should go best player available between O-lineman and edge rusher in the first round. But if Clelin Ferrell is available here, I think that may be the best pick. He's fast. He keeps up with plays. He does not give up, especially with us going to a 3-4-4-3 kind of look, and especially with how much growth even Marquise Haynes can have playing alongside a guy like Clelin Ferrell. It seems almost like the most obvious choice. But what are your thoughts? Is Clelin Ferrell the best match for the Panthers? What do you think about his game? Are there any other edge rushers you would pick up instead of him? Or is he or any other edge rusher not on your top priority in the first round of the draft? Let me know in the comments below. And you already know to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.